Hello everybody and welcome back to Mistborne. We've had a week away, but we're back again, and it's good to see everybody here once again. I can see a few familiar faces in the chat, or names, so to speak. So, welcome back everybody. So we're going to go around, have everybody introduce themselves. They'll let you know who they're playing and who they are, and then we'll jump right on into a recap and get right into the game. And of course, Cyberpunk Pete is here for today as well. So, we'll go around the usual way, which will be Farah, the brilliant FrostFrmFire. Welcome.
Hello! I had to check I wasn't muted. I am coming back at you from this fine Monday. I'm sorry we're late. It was kind of my fault. I had a lot of things to talk about. But now I am ready, armed with skillet to descend into this attic to see what else we can find to decorate our boat with.
Brilliant. And moving straight
Cellar,
on to...
that's the word.
That's the word. Cellar. Okay, and Rahimi. Welcome back.
I had to unmute myself as well.
Sorry.
Hello, it's me, Banjalerp. I'm playing Rahimi, the half-orc witch, who, I don't know what she's, she and I are both kind of like, this is happening, so.
Yeah, I think that sums it up pretty well. And speaking of this is happening, Talgrath.
Talgrath is always happening, alright? I'm playing Talgrath, the big old half-orc punchy man, who is very excited to go down into this basement, Steve.
I'm very excited for him to go down into the basement as well. It's if you look at it one way, a cellar is like a big barrel. So, I mean, it's going to probably be right at home.
That's true.
Exactly. And, Prosper, welcome back.
Hello, I am Shakes, also known as Shaksqueer, and I'm playing Prosper, the tiefling bard, who doesn't want to go into the screaming basement. Nope, not a bit. But will, because people keep encouraging them, and what are you going to do? Can't let people down. No.
There is that. And so last but certainly not least, Nala, welcome back.
Hey, I'm Humbledore. I'm playing Nala, the human barbarian, and place of expectations upon Prosper's shoulders, who at the moment is wanting nothing more than to get the new mattress they found from last session back onto the ship to go to bed and forget this ever happened. Otherwise, pretty good.
Okay, so that's brilliant. So, last session, it was a little bit ago, so we'll give you a bit of a recap here. So, our lovely crew of the Morning Glory were exploring a strange house on a hill just outside of Saltmarsh, where they were told that there would be treasure there, and that there's been some strange noises and lights coming from the house, and that many people think it is haunted in some way. And upon getting there, they began to investigate, and aside from a giant centipede infestation, some snakes in a well, and some spiders in the chimney, all seemed well, until they started hearing loud screams and a foreboding warning coming from a trap door as they approached it in the living room. Since then, they've had a look around, they've found some pans, some brilliant furniture, and they're going to go and repurpose that on their own ship in the future. But finally, they found a gentleman who was stripped mostly down to his underwear and bound in one of the bedrooms, who said that he was tied or hit by something evil and wished for them all to leave. But as they have said they wish to explore the place further, he has come along with you, and Mr. Ned has gone to the cellar door with you, as you've all had a lovely meal, you've had a lovely rest, but finally that trapdoor sits just to your left, and it's time. You can see the sun fully dipped on the horizon, the area dipped into a relative darkness, the moonlight shining through the windows, your only light that you currently have. But you've all finished your meal of centipede and misk meat, and you're feeling nice and full. Ned has had his apple, not really wanting to get involved with the centipede meat. What do you do?
You wouldn't survive on the ship.
Yeah, right?
Oh yeah, that's right, he's vegan, I remember now. Alright, down the hatch, we've been in darker places than this.
So are we actually
Have
going
we?
down the hatch
When have
or
we?
the basement?
Have we?
We're going into the cellar?
Well,
There's two entrances.
Right, I
Is
thought
it
we
the
were
same
in
place?
No,
Or
I
the
thought we were
trapdoor?
in the big living room with nothing in it.
Yeah, that's the one with the trapdoor, because we put the skillet on top of the trapdoor.
Right, and I thought
The
blue was
screaming
one on that one.
staircase is in the kitchen.
Yeah, I figured we were going to the one that was all like gruff and masculine, like, get away.
Aye, the hatch in the living room.
Don't look
Hatches?
behind the curtain.
We're going to the one that doesn't have a clear staircase because the easy route is just not our thing.
Okay, cool.
But
So,
that one has a lot of screaming, so.
I'm sorry, I jumped off at the top of a staircase earlier and did like a perfect flip and 3-point landing. A
You did.
hatch is so my jam.
Yeah, true. Very
Watch
true.
the nat 1 come in a second.
a hatch is my jam. Do you know that constant falling meme from like SpongeBob? It's basically that.
Yes. I've been falling for 30 minutes.
So, speaking of falling for 30 minutes, you approach the hatch then after cleaning up the rest of your cooking supplies and getting yourselves ready to go. And who amongst you opens the hatch?
Farah.
Farah?
Yeah.
Tis I, the captain.
Tis you, the captain. So you give it a heft and you lift it and it creaks. Though not as loudly as you'd expect. It seems it's rather freshly oiled and the hinges swing back and you see what seems to be a set of stairs leading down.
Tell me, Nala, do we need a new hatch for the ship?
I don't think so. No, we don't really tend to go under much. We have stairs.
What about just new hinges then?
I mean, if you want to rip it off its hinges, I'm all for it.
We'll
That
get
means
them
we
on the
can't
way
get
back
locked in.
out.
All right.
But
Oh,
if we take the door off, we can't get locked in the screaming place, which is a good.
Prosper, you're a genius. A
No
hatch
one's ever
and
said that to me
hinges.
before.
And Nala goes up and like puts one hand on one end of the hinge and kind of like looks either Talgrath or Farah, like grab the other side.
All right.
All right.
And their hands place over each other. Love blossoms.
Oh, Talgrath, you do it. It's okay. I'll supervise.
Fair enough.
I'll let you make
And
the
a
roll.
1 and a 2. Heave. Ho!
Athletics.
Oh my goodness.
Very nice. Very nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you heave, you hoe, and you pull as hard as you can, and between the two of you, you do yank it. And, yeah, you've achieved a door.
Another door!
You got a trap door.
Got another door. All the doors. Yeah, we'll place it to one side. I'll light up a torch.
Okay. So you light up a torch, and you kind of look down, and you see that below isn't actually that dark, whilst up here is quite dark. Below you can see sort of the peaking of a flickering light, like a lantern, coming from far below the stairs. And you can hear a bit of a sort of humming coming from downstairs as well after you've opened it.
Siren song.
Might very well be. Let's
The
go.
sirens hum?
Aye. Down below we go.
Okay. So, as you go down, you find a torchlit chamber that was once a large cellar, but it's since been converted into what looks like living quarters. 10 crude beds stand alongside the south wall, each with a wooden locker at its foot that you can see as you begin to go down the stairs. A long wooden table, ringed by rickety stools, dominates the center of the room, with metal cutlery, cups, and dirty plates that sit atop the table. A cook stove is installed very clearly in one of the corners, and there are many sort of cooked meals on top of it. Mostly eaten, but there's just bit of scraps that have been kept warm. A large ham hangs from a loop of twine near the stove, and a sturdy set of stairs that you're currently climbing down is on the westernmost area. Aside from this, there's also 2 wooden doors in the east side of the room. But notably, as you're walking down, you see there is a bearded gentleman, bald head, who seems to be humming to himself as he's scrubbing dishes by a sink in the corner.
Yo ho, me hearty.
He looks over, drops his plate, which shatters, and he goes, "Oh, bugger, you're not meant to be here," and he begins to run.
I'm sorry, was someone else gonna say something?
I was going to
Try
ask, you
and
think that's
catch
a
him.
siren? It's a pretty bold looking siren.
So your bald-looking siren, he seems to walk over to an area that looks like it shouldn't have a door before he sort of scrambles at it, and just it turns and he vanishes, leaving you alone in the room in a very quick sort of way.
After him?
Yeah.
Bullshit!
Go
Okay.
over, investigate the wall where he disappeared.
Rahimi, do you know how that would...
I can take a look.
I'm gonna go
But-
steal the ham.
I'm not very well versed in these kinds of things, so
Prosper is the best protege.
Just like edging around, just like
I guess I'll take a look at the false wall door thing.
Okay, no problem. So you find that it's just around. Let me find and get you to the map. That's going to be a good idea. Ba 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 ba. There we go, and you should be over here. And let me change to our other overlay. The magic of cinema. Okay, so as you can see, you're kind of all on the stairs right now, and the gentleman vanished off just to your right, where you can see the little stove just over here. He sort of seemed to vanish around that area.
Yeah, I'll move over here and start investigating.
Right, you investigate, and
getting ham.
Is anybody going to aid me with this?
yeah, could you give me an investigation check, please?
Oh,
I'll
I just
aid.
want to... Okay, good. Woo! Good, because I have a big old goose egg.
That should be
For that.
flicking things. Oh no.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I have no idea where he went or how any of this works. That may as well have been
You
magic.
look at the
I
door
don't...
and you're like, eh?
Just so happens I have a magic key, so it's all good. Talgrath's gonna kick where he went.
Alright, Talgrath, could you please give me an athletics
I
check,
have a
please?
magic key. I call it my right leg.
Cue Rahimi just...
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay,
My
I've
tongue-
got a magic key. I call it my right, and as you sort of kick the door, your foot hits it, and it just stays exactly the same. And if anything, you feel the bottom of your foot throb slightly.
Were you trying to fit your toenail in there or something? Is that what you meant by key?
Say, Nala, do we need any more bunks?
And while she's saying that, Nala just kicks the door in on this side.
Okay,
That
so these
probably
two doors
leads to that
here.
room.
You
Maybe.
see two of them. So the one on the top end is... Yes, so the one to the top of you seems to be a unlocked door and doesn't seem to have anything over it. The one over here, just to your right, Nala, has a big, what looks to be like a wooden bar over it, and it says danger that's scrawled across the door.
Of course it does.
Naturally.
I'm just going to kick in the top door because that seems to be where the wall leads to.
Okay, no problem. So, you look at it, you kick in the door, and as it opens, you find an interesting looking room. Unlike the barracks, this small room holds comfortable furnishings and appears to be very well cared for. A comfortable looking bed in the northwest corner has a wooden locker at its foot. A small wooden table stands against the east wall with a padded leather chair beside it. On the table is a brass 3-branch candlestick and 3 burning candles that provide the room with bright light. The candles, though not fresh, are far from spent. Under the table is a small wooden box and an unlit bullseye lantern with a movable shutter over the lens. And on the shelf above the table sit 3 books. In the northeast corner is a closed wooden wardrobe. Bum 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 bum, and I will reveal that room to you, as that was the completely unlocked room. There you go.
I'm making Ned carry the ham.
Ned has got the ham. He's like, I'll hold this then.
Yeah.
I guess. He
Making the
says,
poor
kinda holding
vegan
it
hold
still.
the ham.
Yeah, he's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
You
turn. I'll
monsters.
sort of poke my head around the wall. Angie, there's books in here. Don't mind
Angie.
though, though he might be in the wardrobe.
Who's Angie? Who are you
Whoops.
talking to?
Whoops! I broke the wall. Sorry.
Quickly,
Some
quick,
fourth
quick,
wall break.
It was-
right now. We'll
I'm
just-
seeing people.
rewind that.
Rahimi, that's it. Sorry, I was looking at your token on Roll20 and it's got your orc, Rahimi, but it's got your name. So I'm like,
Oh, does it? Oh, hold on. I will change that. Sorry.
please. I get easily confused.
Whoop!
That's amazing, yeah. But still, aside from that, you don't say Angie, you turn around and say, Rahimi.
Rahimi. Books. As I open the wardrobe door.
Okay.
Boink.
Bum, 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 bum. So inside of the wardrobe, you find what looks to be... There's a couple sort of fancy sets of clothing. But aside from that, not much in there. And Rahimi, as you look at the books, there are 3 books that consist of the following volumes. A volume of erotic poetry, fully illustrated. A naval almanac listing tide times for the area of coast around Saltmarsh. A total of 100 miles off of the coastline is covered. A treatise concerning the demigod Luz and his minions. Do you have a look through any of these?
So that was the erotic poetry Sailor's Almanac, right?
Yeah, a naval almanac.
Naval Almanac.
Uh-huh.
My bad.
I will copy and paste that to the chat for you so you can have it. Yep. So that's what you
I
got.
did not spell lose right. Damn it.
It's alright, it's a difficult one. But yeah, lose. But yes, you see those 3.
Beautiful. Just gonna tuck those away.
No worries. And there is also the stuff on the table if you want to check that out, Nala.
She's trying to see if there's a trapdoor in here somewhere.
You
She's
look
like,
through.
where is this man
Give me a
gone?
very quick perception check. He vanished near the top. You've gone round the side into another area.
18.
Okay, on an 18, you look around and you don't see anything like any sort of secret exits from this area or any sort of strange secret entrances or anything like that. But what you do see is you do notice that the stuff on the table itself, there's quite a few things. You find a hidden compartment under the table that you see is slightly loose, and inside of it you see a peeking of leather as if a book. You also find that the small wooden box seems to have candles, flint, and steel in there, along with what seems to be a piece of paper that's poking out.
I'll take the book and the paper and kind of like
So-
just hold them out to Rahimi.
Rahimi. Yet again, you're met with more presents as you see a piece of paper folded very fancily, held out to you, and also what looks to be a thick leather-bound tome with a custom cover and a very beautiful, what looks to be a latch on the front of it that can be sort of completely sealed and opened, so it holds it very beautifully.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of like see if I can open the tome.
Very nice. So you open it, and as you do, you see what looks to be a spell book of sorts. And on the front of the spell book, just as you open it, it says Sanballet's Spellbook.
Just gonna pocket that for later reading. And what is the fold? Like, is it like origami folded?
It's just folded nicely. It's like four ways, but incredibly accurate each time.
Oh. Opening it up.
Okay. So as you open that up, I will get back to you. What about the rest of you? What are all of you doing while this is happening?
Now that I've rescued the ham from its
The
unfortunate
ham is
position
indeed saved.
and given it to Ned for safekeeping, I'm now just like trying to figure out where the little guy went. So I'm doing the whole like stroking the wall thing. It's
Yeah.
like just trying to
So you're
find
giving
any
it a good stroke, and you're trying to figure out if you can find
themes
anything.
or doors. Yeah.
So as you're doing that, could you give me a very quick investigation check then, please? As you're sort of, looking for these seams, you're looking for these things.
I would say be gentle and
Not
still
bad.
take
Not
your
bad.
time, but
16. That's not bad for me.
It's not bad at all. Okay, so you do manage to find some, as you manage to find what looks to be a secret door just here, just above you.
Ooh.
It's to the right of it, just around the corner, and there seems to be a sort of slit where it is. And you find the mechanism to open it quite easily. It's hidden, but you're kind of having a bit longer to look at it than, the cursory glance that the rest got. You've kind of spent time watching it and looking at it a lot, and you've noticed the bits that are a bit off. And you've determined that you can indeed open this with ease.
Like, do we want to open the invisible door? Strong people?
Oh,
Anyone?
And Farah will stop inspecting the 10 beds in front of her for possible, useful things we could have for the ship, and come over to Prosper to assist with the door.
Yeah, I will open the door once there's someone I can hide behind once it's open.
All right, no problem. So, if you wish to open it then, are you opening it now or are you waiting?
Now!
I'm waiting until
No.
I can hide behind, strong
Okay,
people.
so as you open that door, as the rest are sort of searching the room at this time, you will find a lot of stuff in this. Okay, so you find the wine cellar, it looks like. There's shoulder-height wooden bottle racks line the north and west walls here, and there appear to be no intact bottles left on the racks, and the shattered bottles cover the floor. Against the east wall, at the foot of the stairs, rest 2 large metal storage bins that appear to be empty. In the centre of the room lies a human corpse clad in plate mail. A longsword lies by the corpse's right side, and a large shield covers its legs.
Well, this is a travesty if ever I saw one. What a waste of wine!
Indeed.
Dead person!
Oh,
There's
he's
that
got
too.
some good armor. Let's go and have a look.
Okay.
Before touching it, I would check to make sure there's no traps under the shield or the person itself.
I was gonna poke it with my sword. How would you suggest checking for traps, Talgrath?
Is there anything we can throw at it?
I glance at Ned.
Not the
Well,
ham!
throwing that. You say there's some steel crate things.
There's 2 bins by the door, by the foots of these stairs, basically.
Oh
I'm
no!
just gonna
like
pick
advanced
up one of
barrels.
the ends of the bottle, like a bit that didn't shatter completely, and just like throw it at the thing.
Okay, so you throw it at the corpse.
Yeah. Just like,
Okay. So you throw it at the corpse and it dings off of it. But you do hear a sort of crackling noise and like a squirming noise.
okay, don't like that, and I hide behind the other 2.
Aside from that, everything's fine.
I'll
Yep.
go over and I'll take out my sword, and I want to very slowly slide and lift.
So as you slide your sword under it and lift, it's about that time that you see some rather nasty looking critters underneath. And let's just move
Oh, it's dinner. All
over
right.
to there. And as you've sort of gone over to the corpse about here and you've lifted it, loads of strange looking insects begin to bloat and appear out of the body, and they seem to begin to swarm over the area. They spill out of gaps of the armor at a glance. They seem to look like curdled milk being squeezed from a bladder as they
See,
appear out
this
of
is
it.
why I like burial at sea. No leftovers.
And those of you who are in the room right now and involved in this combat, and those of you who wish to get involved, could you please roll me initiative, please?
Oh.
I can indeed.
Farah's kind of chill with this. She's like, all right, maggots. All right.
All right, maggots.
All right, maggots, line up.
Oh.
They don't seem like any maggots I've ever seen.
Perhaps not.
I'm gonna roll initiative, but
Yep,
basically I'm
certainly.
gonna wait until there's like noise that indicates that we should be involved.
Well, Talgrath, you do come from
That
the
makes
nicer
sense.
parts of town.
That's true. I have no idea where that is.
So,
Why?
cool. And we just need
Right
to
next
add...
door to my part of
So
town.
that's Talgrath on 11. We need to add Prosper in there, so we'll add Prosper in there. Add.
Oh, I didn't do mine right. Hang on, I can do mine properly.
It's all good. 12. Oop, there we go. So we've got Farah. We'll keep your new initiative. So, descending there. So that will be Farah up first as you see
Oh,
these
thank goodness.
grubs coming out. I'm just going to quickly roll their initiative as well.
Was that bus?
So, okay. So they have equaled you, but you will go first as you're quicker than the swarm. So, Farah, what do you do? There's these 2 swarms of these horrible-looking grubs that seem to start pulsing outwards towards you.
I'm not a huge fan, and I know if you make things explode, usually more things happen because that's what happens when bodies bloat. So she's gonna unlock her Crimson Rite of the Storm.
Okay.
So she reduces her hit points by 1 automatically her maximum, and her thing reduces by 1. Oh no, she's
Cool.
level 2. So reduces by
She's
2.
level 2. Yeah, she's level 2.
And her sword ignites with this crackling of lightning.
Oh, nice.
Let me double check. Yeah, that's bonus action. And the weapon will deal an additional 1d4. So with my action, I am gonna just like slice very carefully a maggot to kind of try and fling it across the room out of the way.
Yes, you kind of like hit, flick.
Wait. Can I reflavor real quick?
You can
I say that I
reflavor
did that
everything.
to the skillet instead, and I want to use
Yeah.
it like a baseball bat to kind of like
Oh, even better, yeah.
tennis racket, like
So you,
swing
like-
this iron skillet.
So, in one version of your mind, you're like, I should draw my sword and do that, but you draw
Yeah.
the skillet instead, and the lightning crackles up the skillet as the rust sort of lights up slightly weirdly from the electricity, and you get it ready in your hands, and you go for a swing. And go ahead, could you please give me a swing? Just use your sword stats for the attack,
Okay.
but if it will just be a d6 plus your strength damage. So,
Which
it'll
is
be
the same
bludgeoning.
as my sword anyway, I think.
Yeah, but it'll be bludgeoning rather than slashing, so.
Okay.
Slashing damage.
Let me see.
Very nice. So that's 5 good old smackaroos as you... Ooh, nice. Okay, so you're crackling electric pan, which is not a thing I thought I'd say today. You swing it and you strike the grubs, and as you do, it seems that you crush multiple of them, and there's a fine paste left over the body as you manage to smash through quite a few of them. And at which point, anything else in your turn at all, Farah?
I'm cooking! She yells really loud.
And the rest of you do indeed smell some sort of rancid meat smell that seems to be cooking in there, at which point the grub rots will begin to make their way around, as one of them will go towards you, and will go to try and bite at you. Ba-doop. Okay, however, on a 12 completely would miss you, as I believe you've got at
Would
least one.
completely hit me.
What? You got 11? Oh my god.
I have no armor!
What's your dex?
Oh no!
1!
God damn it. I forgot about your no armor thing. Okay, so you...
That's why I have a girlfriend!
Well, she's not here now.
Sorry, I'm trying to read.
Oh, erotic
1 minute,
poetry.
dear. Let me get to the end of this chapter.
Yeah, just, it's fine, you can cook.
It's tips for later.
Alright, so you are unfortunately hit. And can you roll me 1d4, please, Farah?
Yeah, I'll push my right of the storm because that's just 1d4 for you.
No problem.
3!
So as you roll a 3, you see that they begin to bite you, but rather than just biting, it seems that 3 of the grubs begin to crawl inside of the bite wounds and infest your body. At which point...
Yuck.
At which point, that will be all they do. They don't do any other damage just yet. But it will be Prosper the Unseen.
Okay, like pressing themselves into the wall, just kind of like nah. But seeing Farah getting in trouble, they're just gonna kind of flail a bit and then throw their hands out and cast Bane on both of them. So they can
Okay.
do that. Hold on, let me just put that up in chat.
Very nice.
There we go. And we'll just shout, "The utmost Bane with which pain purchased us inherent pain!" And just like climb back into the wall, like, "Ah!"
Throwing out Shaksqueer, then running away.
Yeah.
I love it. So you've cast Bane upon them, and it's on both?
Yes.
Cool, brilliant. So I will
They have to
mark
make a
them with big
charisma
ol' red
saving
thing.
throw. No, they have to make a saving throw.
Let's have a look and see if they will pass it with their -5 charisma. That is a fail and a incredible fail, as they get a 9 and a -1, as both of the swarms are sort of covered with this bane that you've put upon them, and their omens will be ill indeed. Okay, Talgrath, your turn, buddy. What do you do?
Talgrath is gonna do what he always does, go over and punch stuff.
All right, you get your fists ready to punch the grubs, and you walk on over. You smell
it's
the
gonna be
rancid
really
smell.
awkward. Like, yeah, he's gonna deliver 2 punches to the one in front of him.
Okay, so you get ready, and you see the ones attack Farah, and they begin to try and swarm over towards you as you go for the swing. So could you give me the damage, please? And the hit, please. Wow, okay,
Whoa,
yeah, so
shit.
that's going to be a good hit. Could you give me the damage on that? That's a
Good old
crit.
6.
A good old 6 damage as you punch, and you kill 6 of these grubs that you managed to crush under your fist. Good job.
And then a 19.
And a 19, that's another hit. Could you give me the damage, please?
Another 6.
Wow, nice, okay. So you crush almost half of this pile as you sort of rapidly just punch and punch and punch and just... You're making a mess of this swarm that seems to schlop and let out horrible sort of popping noises as you kill them. It's making you even feel a bit more green. And at which point, anything else, Talgrath, or is that everything?
That is it.
Okay, so Rahimi, you can hear distant, strange noises, and you do hear Prosper shout out some mad bane at some people.
I think we
And
need
as
to
you've
go
got that piece of
investigate
paper.
what's going on. I'm going to refold it, put it away, and move out.
Okay, no problem.
Unfortunately, I can only get to where I can see through the door,
You
but
certainly can only get there.
oh yeah, I can
that's
definitely see
within
this
range.
one.
Oh yeah, you can see them. They're writhing. They're a mass. They're a swarm.
Yeah.
So you can see that.
So, just taking a look at this real quick.
Of course, no problem.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do acid splash at them.
Nice.
Specifically those two because they are within 5 feet of each other.
They certainly are.
So
Brilliant.
dex saves.
All right, let's see how much dexterity these rock grubs have. With a mighty -2, they fail and they succeed on the second one. So the first set is splashed immediately. The second one is not. So you deal 6 damage to the first one.
This one has just gotten dealt 666 damage. Just
Yeah,
gonna
that's
point that
insane.
out.
That's really cool.
Freaking half orcs, yo.
Yeah, the half-orcs throwing out the devil's numbers. Alright, so aside from our devilish half-orcs, though, you seem
that's
to
it, yeah.
splash this acid upon them, and Talgrath, you duck just out of the way in time as it flies past you and splashes over the mound of them, and the ones that were sort of remaining begin to melt away, and only 4 little grubs appear in front of you to still be swarming and trying to get you. And at which point it is Nala. What do you want to do, Nala?
So hearing Rahimi say, "Hey, they're probably in trouble again," I'm like, "Yeah, you're probably right." And I'll use my action to dash. So 5, 10, 30.
Okay, no problem.
29. So I'll get to that.
Yeah, so you make it in and you see Farah wielding a sort of electrical pan in her hand that she's kind of got hefted back. And you see these 3 things sort of burrowing their way inside of her.
Oh, those 2 things are new.
Okay, and at which point, if that's everything, Nala?
Yeah.
We'll move over to Farah. So Farah, as it's your turn and you've got some of them burrowing inside of you...
Nala, I didn't touch him, I swear!
Okay.
You take 11 damage as the 3 separate ones begin to burrow their way inside of you.
I'm sure glad I remembered to level up this time.
Oh, I'm happy that you remembered as well. And is there anything you want to do? You can still sort of see their
I
little tails
run over to
poking out.
Nala, like, look at it, and then, so the skill
I'm
is
not
like,
a
up
doctor.
over my head, and then she, like, her free hand goes down, and she wants to try and, like, pull it back out. She's like, no! Get it out!
So are you just pulling, or are you like using the pan to like...
She's using her hand. Her hand
Okay.
is good. Maybe like I guess. Oh, do I have a dagger left? I might
do,
have
yes,
one
you
dagger
have
left.
daggers,
So I'll
yeah.
use a dagger to like skewer that thing. Like
So you're like, eh.
trying not to stab myself, trying to stab the thing that's in me.
Oh no!
Screaming for Pete, screaming for Nala, freaking out.
Yeah, understandable.
Who gave permission for the bugs to bite back?
Yeah, they're the cousins of the centipedes from last session, and they have words. So, you go and do that then. Could you give me just a attack check? So you can use your sword for this if you want. Just use it to sort of determine how good you hit. Okay, so yeah, that's still a hit as you manage to grip one. And can you give me the damage, please?
3.
Yeah, so you pry, and you actually manage to get all 3 out this turn, as you manage to do just enough damage to sort of pull.
And I imagine like her side is just like this bloody mess.
Yeah, it is. You've got these 3 marks where you've had these things burrowing into you, but you've popped them completely out and killed them in doing so, and they kind of flopped to the floor.
Ready for them
This
to
is
attack
so
you
gross.
this turn.
And do you
We're
wish to do
not
anything
eating
else?
these ones.
I don't like you any less, but that was a bit gross.
Yeah,
I
bit gross.
appreciate that.
You might want to move out the way.
Oh. And
Okay.
she'll turn and move the rest of her movement back.
Okay, so you can manage to make it away from there, luckily, as the swarm sort of done their job, and you can move where you wish to move. And we will move on to swarms of rot grubs, which will make their way over. And this one over here that's remaining with just 4 of them will move over to Talgrath's position and will aim to swarm onto him. As it will
Sentinel,
go.
please.
Sure.
Minus 1d4 to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Longsword.
That's a hit.
17.
Can you give me the damage, please?
6.
Very nice. So you manage to crush the remaining swarm of them that begins to swarm over him. Just as sort of these things manage to make their way onto him, you kind of sweep out a sword and cut them all in half as they begin to, and they flop to the ground. Just about the same time as the second one goes to swarm onto you, Nala. And the more numerous one only strikes a 14, which I believe is a miss on you.
It is.
Yes, so they begin to try and swarm over you, but you manage to kind of bat them off and keep them at bay. At which
Just
point
out
it
of
will be-
curiosity, was that with the Bane?
with the Bane, they'd be getting even less, actually, so they'd be getting about a 12 or a 10, so that's a good point. Right, Prosper the Unseen. The Bane is still a
Prosper kind of looking at everyone and just kind of like, okay, well, they're all doing the stabby thing. I hate this. Is gonna run round to the other side of the swarm
Okay.
and like trying to lean back as much as possible is going to attack with their rapier. Like
Okay.
literally kind of like, "Ugh."
It's like skewers.
Yeah. Just yeah.
Okay, go ahead then, please. Wow, okay, that's a good hit. And you manage to sort of, you stab one through and it comes up.
And then just
On
like
your rapier.
waving the rapier around to try and flick it off.
Okay, can you give me a very quick D3, please?
Gross.
Okay, so, Talgrath. So you're stood there, you've got these things off you, Nala's just sliced all 4 of them in half and they flop to the ground, and you have that moment of, oh, I've narrowly avoided this, as one of them flies and slaps you in the face as it then lands on the ground, as you see Prosper shaking their sword around with one on the end. You're left with a bit of sludge on your face. At which point it will be Talgrath's turn.
Okay, Talgrath is going to move a step further
Okay.
and aim another good 2 punches down at these writhing group of horrible insects.
Certainly.
However,
give it a
is
go.
going to try and aim his punches so that if he does kill any, the innards come out and squirt all over Prosper.
Okay, no problem. You can do that. I think that's free to do. So
So
let's see how good you roll with this. So the first one definitely doesn't hit. As you kind of go, you're a bit annoyed at the time. You walk forward, you punch, and you immediately punch to the side and just hit the man's shield, which just goes ping as you hit it. But the second one
22.
is a very good hit, on the other hand, as your left hook comes in, strikes them, crushes them.
On the
And can you
other
give me the
hand.
damage? Let's see how. Oh, that's a big
7.
splash. All right. So unfortunately, Prosper, Talgrath strikes. You see him hit the shield and ting off, and then he more angrily punches with his left hook, strikes the ground. There's a big noise, and then loads of guts just fly at you as 7 of them are crushed.
I didn't even see the bug hit him in the face, so I'm just kind of sort of like.
Did you say loads of guts or
Loads of
goods?
guts.
'Cause- okay, because I was like, either one works.
Yep. And Talgrath, that is your turn, as you have crushed many of them. And moving on to Rahimi.
Second verse, same as the first.
Very nice.
Another acid splash.
So, you send out another acid splash again, and let's have a look at how these people deal with it. So with their dexterity save, they unfortunately make it.
Minus
apparently.
1d4.
I'm gonna give that a go as
Saving
well.
throws.
Oh, even with a D4, they will still
Aw.
succeed at that. Unfortunately, is it a DC
Yeah.
12 still? Is it?
Yeah, my DC's
Yeah.
not great. Cause...
So if the DC is still 12, unfortunately that is, even with the -4, it got a 17. So unfortunately that will still miss. So,
Yeah.
Moving on to... Unless there's anything else, Rahimi?
No, I was just gonna move in, and that was it.
Cool. Now your turn.
Yeah, so I'll like with my I guess free action I'll just like sort of take my hand and swipe down Prosper just to like swipe off the guts. And with the
Very
other
good.
just slice at the basically like cause sparks in the ground as I just slice over the rest of the swarm.
Okay, no problem. So you go for the good old slice, the good old reliable.
Yeah. And I will do it reckless.
Reckless attack, very nice.
18,
Nice, that's a good hit.
11 damage.
Oof. So how do you cut through the rest of the swarm?
I just make a single line where they all seem to be perfectly lined up as they're sort of wriggling towards us, and it just makes this like sparks and smoke on the ground as I just cut through them all.
So just as Farah's sparking lit up electrical pan is behind you, you also strike up some sparks in front as you light up the room together, and you take out the entire line of grubs, and the room once again grows silent as you all exit combat. Well done. And still that armor is there and the shield is there on the floor, no longer infested with these strange grubs that came out of them from before.
That
Following
was-
our usual train of thought, we're not eating these, right?
No.
No. Maybe you should put that on, love? Just so that maybe they can't bite through metal. She points to the thing to Farah.
He just moves so quick.
Prosper is just going to look down at himself and then just go and cast prestidigitation and just clean their entire outfit. Just like, yeah.
That
Would
is
you like
so
me
handy?
to check that, by the way, Farah?
Aye. Before that barber surgeon aboard takes a look.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like shit. There's nothing I can do about it.
I'm gonna die.
Maybe. Quite possibly.
Pete, where's Pete?
Oh no, did they eat him?
Where is Pete?
Where is
Did we
Pete?
leave Pete upstairs?
I don't know what the fuck Pete is.
So Pete is still upstairs. He stayed upstairs when you fed him. He was kind of sat, feeling a bit fat by the window, just
Is he
leaning
within
against it.
60 feet of me?
Yeah, he's upstairs, so he technically is.
I'm just gonna like telepathically tell him to come down the hole and just sit on Ned.
Okay. So you hear a returning reply of, "You were speaking to me. This is strange, but very well I will do as you say, Rahimi. Do not
That would
tell
be
Farah that
appreciated.
I said such a thing."
Okay.
Caw. It says, as you then immediately hear a from upstairs as you see the seagull fly down and land immediately on Ned's head, who goes, oh, it's your bird, isn't it?
Pete! A terrible thing has befallen me.
And Pete dramatically looks over towards you, his beak turning and glistening in the light. Yes, what has happened to you, Farah?
Maggots! They come for me, though I am not yet dead.
Dreadful.
Rahimi says it could be my time.
I just said it looked like shit.
Farah, it will
And then
never
I
be your
asked if it
time.
was terminal, and you said it could be.
Anything could be.
You look fine, Farah. I see no signs upon you of them, but I may peck them out if you wish.
Have a look.
Very well. He flaps over, and the rest of you just see a seagull kind of and kind of pecking at the wounds.
Oh, that's
Ow!
disgusting.
Oh,
Oh, no. No, that's a tendon. I'm sure that's something called a tendon.
And
Another
eventually,
flame, Pete. I need that.
and eventually, Pete, bloody of beak, kind of caws and lands on your head, Farah. And he seems to kind of spit out some of the actual remains that were left inside of there. You may now be healed.
It looks less like shit now.
Pete, you're a good man.
I am.
Good
I am.
man.
Birdman?
I take either.
Friend.
Friend is the word I prefer.
She reached up and strokes him.
Yeah, he's very happy.
I've stripped off the armor of the corpse and shook
Okay,
it down,
so
like brushed it down.
the armor of the corpse.
The armor of the corpse. The
Quick
armor of the
strip.
corpse.
Another reason to have a
You'll
girlfriend.
find some plate mail that's banged up. It's a
All right.
result of brutal clubbing and kicking, but
Is
it's
it?
serviceable and it'll fit a medium creature.
Oh, not bad.
A longsword and the shield are in good condition, and an explorer's pack lacking the rations and water is under the corpse.
Very nice. She hands over the plate mail. Maybe you want to get that bandaged and then put this on.
Aye.
And for the love of God, she like gets the shield and puts it in front of her.
Okay.
You're just a mess.
Prosper is using their sleeve to just wipe the goo off Talgrath's face.
Oh, Talgrath Prosper begins to wipe the goo off your face, covered in goo partly themselves that you...
No, I got
Oh,
clean.
did you get clean? In which case
I
you're
got clean. I prestidigitated myself.
Oh,
That's
you
hard to
pressed
say.
and edited it.
So I'm just using like a corner of my blanket cloak thing to just wipe his face off.
So you've
thank
already...
you. I didn't
You've got a
notice.
bit messy. Bit gross.
And it's about this time that Nala, you've managed to pull the rest of the plate armor off of the gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
it seems
I'll
to be
hand
in,
over.
like I said, it's a bit beat up, but aside from that, it's in good nick.
Yeah. I'll hand it over to Farah and help her get strapped up in it.
Okay, so you strap up Farah.
Does anyone
and,
have any medical supplies, Bam?
That's a good idea.
You
I've
have
got
that potion
one
I gave
cure
you.
wounds left.
I can't heal for once. I'm not playing a healer.
I know,
I've got
right?
one
Angie?
spell slot left, so I could cure wounds if you're desperate.
Don't we have like a healing potion that we
Yeah, I
found?
think I
Oh, yeah, we
gave you
do.
a healing
You
potion.
do have a healing potion, yeah. I believe it was a 2d4 one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was 2 uses as well, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, you're right, because I definitely used a little bit last time.
Who
Alright.
Yeah.
took that?
Farah's got it, I believe.
I believe
Got it.
Yeah.
I had one dose of it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so was it, 2d4 plus 4?
2d4 plus 2.
Plus 2.
Nice.
Right,
Okay,
it's
so yeah, you drink the potion, and
Ish.
as you do, your wounds begin to stitch together, and it's almost as new.
Almost.
Almost.
Hmm.
It's pretty close.
Almost. But yes,
And-
that's just about what you have. But yes, you do find some banged up plate mail. It's serviceable. A longsword and a shield. So you can use whichever one of those you want. They are the standard stats of them, so you can find those as usual. In just the little searchable
plate mail,
compendium.
yes.
Yes,
Plate
plate
mail.
mail.
AC of 18.
Yeah.
Now, Ned, I know we've just stripped this corpse in front of you, but it's no one you recognize, right?
No. Dreadful. No, nobody I recognize. Not at all.
Insight check.
Sure.
What about the bald man with a big beard who might be a siren because he likes to hum?
He's not telling a lie. He doesn't recognize the bloated corpse. And as you say that, he goes, "No, I don't know. I mean, I know some people like that, but I didn't know he was here. That's strange, isn't it?"
Well, he might be the wizard person who was
He might
making the
be
gold.
wizard. Yes,
Might
maybe
be the
he
wizard.
is. Maybe he is the wizard.
Maybe you're the wizard and you just don't remember.
Maybe I am. He says, looking a little.
Are
sort
you
of
the
in
villain?
thought at that. No, I'm
She
not a
points
villain.
her sword.
Why would I be a villain?
What?
He
Don't
says.
Alright.
Villain they
sword
locked
at
up
the
in a
ham.
room.
Yes, don't.
It's not the ham I'm pointing it
Oh.
at.
Okay, just checking.
Don't
He's
worry,
still
I'm
holding a
not-
ham, sort of in two hands, close to his chest. Like, oh,
Sorry, hold on really quick. What sort of armor is this? Is it
This
plate
is
or is it
plate.
chainmail? It's plate. Okay.
But if you can't wear plate for whatever reason, you
Do you have
could
the strength
just
for
class
it?
it as half plate because technically
I'm not
there is
strong
only...
enough.
All right,
All
so
right,
in which
I'll
case
call it
we'll
half
class it as
plate.
half plate because there's only half of the plate remaining. So it was a set of plate armor, but it's that beat up and broken that only
That's
half of
cool.
it's remaining. So you can have half
And
plate.
I'll grab that shield as well for now.
It covers none of the
Very nice.
vials.
So you get a light shield. just a
Is that
shield.
still the standard +2?
Yes, it is
Okay.
just a shield. So it is a standard +2, as long as you're wielding.
Thanks. Sorry
I'm
for the
looking
interruption.
around to
No,
see
no,
if I
no
can find out
interrupt.
where the siren went.
So you
Trying to
look
get away
around,
from the bug guts.
and you get the distinct feeling that they seem to have. You can see that the dust that is kind of thickly caked on the top of the bins has been disturbed. It seems they've ran upstairs, back out towards where you were before from the looks of things. As you look up, you can see that it leads up and out.
So there's no screaming anymore?
No screaming, no, not from this area. This was the screamy place, but he seems to have run
Yeah.
out of it.
There is a door that says danger on it. That might be a good next step.
And additionally,
Just
the
like,
note,
just
by the way, just for you. You see could you please give me a very quick investigation check, as you sort of look over the note as well that you have, Rahimi? Just as you did get a cursory look before, so. Okay, no problem. So the note itself seems to speak of something to do with signaling, but there's not a lot of facts that are written on here. It mentions something about lantern and communicate message flashes. That's all it
Okay.
says.
I'm gonna read this out loud and just see if maybe anybody
Sure.
else might pick up on it.
So if any of the rest of you look at the note, could you give me an investigation check as well, please?
Well, half of them can't read, so
I
that's why
will
was
take
reading it out.
disadvantage
as
on
you
this
read it out.
quite happily.
The others who are doing it can have disadvantage if you can't read, but the rest of you
A
can have-
1.
Wow.
an 18.
Prosper, you determine what this is quite easily. It seems to be some sort of signaling system for a ship, and it seems to have been written quite recently. And you think that it speaks of a lantern, something like a bullseye lantern would be good for that, because you can, of course, kind of drop it to signal. And you see there are 3 signals written, and on your 18, it seems that you get the following. You see long, short, short, short. Is it safe? Short, long, everything safe. Long, 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 ready to unload, come to the ship.
I kind of explain all of that and then kind of go, that's weird. I don't know how I know that, but that's what it says. That's familiar, which is weird because I
You
don't
remember
know.
some similar signaling systems from Dark Tides that you'd overheard certain smugglers and pirates spoke of? They seem to kind of vary it, but it does have it written next to it. It kind of has dashes, like a long dash, short dash, short dash, short dash, for example.
Yeah,
So
Prosper
this-
just explains and looks unsettled.
There's a smuggling op going on. Wonder what they're smuggling.
I wonder if we could get a cut. Pirate to pirate business, you know.
Though I'm pretty sure we were told there were no pirates in this place. So either everyone's in it, or they're just very good at their job.
So are we going to check out the last room before we leave? Or
Yes, I want to know where that bugger went.
I mean,
Well, I
I think
think-
he went upstairs.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
seems to have like bolted out the house, basically. He seems to have made a run for it. But there is another door down there, and there are, of course, other areas in that to explore.
I mean,
haven't-
Farah doesn't know he's gone upstairs.
Oh, that's true. I mean, I thought somebody said it. I think Prosper said.
I would have been talking out loud this whole time.
Alright, yeah, let's go check out that last room. There might be some more stuff in it for our boat.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, there's a really nice mattress in that room. Like a really nice one. Like it's
A
well
lantern
kept.
might come in useful. I don't think we have one.
A what?
Oh, well,
Wait, no,
What?
I don't know that. Never mind. Just remembered I don't know that. Never mind.
Alright, who's ready for the danger door?
Nope.
Count me in.
Woohoo, let's go. And she
okay.
rips off the danger sign.
So give me an athletics as you begin to rip off the danger sign on the board, because it's
Farah
Farah
bolted
will
in.
assist,
Okay,
clanking
advantage.
along next to you in her new armor.
Woohoo!
So you got
Thank
a
you for
crit.
the assist.
So, Nala, you stand in front of it. You sort of put both hands on it. You brace yourself. Farah, you put a hand on it. And you flex,
flex to
and
impress.
you pull back, and you manage to determine the exact angle that it was hammered in, and it slides out neatly. Just one pull, and it's out.
Place it down.
Not a problem.
Maybe get that later. Be a good sign for the boat. And I'll open the door.
Okay. And as you open the door, and you creak it open, you will find... Light spills in from a large room that barely shows the chamber is about 12 foot across, and the corners are filled with shadow. What you can see is very dingy and dirty, but it seems to be a hallway of sorts inside of there. And as you look in, you can see bone piles in the room, Nala, from where you're at. Seems to be 6 of them as you peer in. What do you do?
That's some bones. She chucks a torch at one of them.
No problem. As you chuck a torch at one of them, the skeletons begin to rise.
Oh, of course they do.
Oh, no.
What have you found, my love?
Skellies. That are be putting themselves together. Yeah. Brace yourselves.
Skellies!
Oh.
Wait,
They
Scully,
have
that's
tails
like
or feet?
They seem to have feet, but they're not fully made yet, so it could change.
is that like a weird kind of jelly?
No. Like the thing that's inside your skin.
And as
The
you're saying that,
bones.
could you all roll me initiative, please? Let me just quickly get you all off of it. There we go.
Jesus.
Very nice.
Another 5? Are you kidding me?
It's alright, stand back and watch me work.
19, 18, 17. I dig it.
I suck.
So, they
You
will
need to
act
go
on initiative
second so that you
13.
can defend me with Sentinel afterwards.
Definitely. And at this point, Talgrath, the fastest in the west, what are you going to do? As you
Talgrath.
hear these sort of clattering noises as these skeletons begin to rise from where they were.
Hearing the call to battle once more, Talgrath is going to squeeze his way politely past the ladies.
Okay.
And
Sorry, this big barrel-chested half-orc just...
Excuse me, come
sorry.
on.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
is going to not fear the numbers that are in the room and go there. So more people can flood into the room, so he's not blocking the door. And then the one just south of him, he's gonna give it the old fisticuffs.
Okay, so you go to give it the good fisticuffs. Could you go ahead and do that for me? So,
12.
your first strike as you go to hit at the, let me get to the correct page here. As you go to hit at the skeleton, you swing out and you strike sort of the armor that's still on it, and your hand sort of skints over it and doesn't quite hit it.
An
The
18.
second one, on the other hand, strikes and hits hard. Could you give me the damage, please?
That is a 5.
Okay, so your punch seems to, however, be extra effective, as when you smash into it, you snap bones that seem to be brittle and aged. Your fist sails through the armor and takes out most of the skeleton in front of you, as you manage to almost immediately take it down, as you see the thing barely hanging on, a few bones sort of lazily clinging to its body still, as it holds a blade in its hand. And is that everything, Talgrath?
Yes, it is.
Brilliant, at which point it is Farah.
Tis I looking for my unmute button as usual. Alright. I am gonna shimmy and shake into the room. Oh, that's a lot of fellas.
I am gonna turn around and I'm just gonna strike at the first one. I've still got the lightning in my skillet, so I'm gonna be using that.
Certainly do. So, give us that go, please.
Alright.
No.
Your skillet bangs, but it does not clean the dirt away. Anything else?
I wish I had an offhand, but I have a shield now.
I just level my shield up to defend myself.
Okay, no problem. And it looks towards you, and you see one of those grubs from earlier just kind of peek out from its eye hole.
Oh.
I shudder back a little bit.
Yeah, I imagine.
Nope.
That's a nope. Okay, and at which point it will be Rahimi.
She's going to use her action to create a duplicate self composed of shadow stuff. Because skeletons, and it seems like there may be more than one.
Definitely. So you cast your Hex of Duplicity as you bring this shadowy form of yourself to your side.
Yeah, and with her bonus action, she's going to just kind of like lowly chuckle to herself.
Oh, very nice. And you also use your bonus action to cackle. So, duration of all your hexes within 60 foot extends by 1 round. Very nice. So as you cackle your witchy laugh that you've practiced many hours in front of the mirror, you manage
Sorry,
to...
no, it's more like...
There you go. So
There you
that's
go.
what we hear as you put on that laugh,
Get
and
you, my
immediately you
Skelly.
feel the power run through you, your patron pleased, as you begin to release your power, and your shadow seems to be more solidified from it. At which point, is that everything, Rahimi?
Yes.
Okey-dokes.
No, I'm going to move forward just a little bit.
Okay, no problem.
Like, to there. That'll
No
be
worries. And as that is it, we'll move to Skellywags. So the spooky, scary skeletons are going to give a go at you, as they will begin to move around Talgrath here. Boop. And this one will also move down, sort of waiting in the background. He sort of shambles across the room and just waits, looking at the rest and realizing there's no space for it, and just sort of menacingly shakes its arms at you. But the rest of them all seem to be ready to hit, as the 4 skeletons around you, Talgrath, are going to go in for 4 strikes. So, what is your AC?
My AC is 16.
Okay, so 3 of the attacks do not hit you at all, but it seems the skeleton that you nearly took down, that is barely clinging on, the rest of them come around the back and start attacking you, and you defend, you dodge, you weave, but that one sees its opportunity, and it stabs straight just as you parry a blow and hits you just underneath the armpit for a critical hit, dealing 6 damage. And at which point, you all see at the back of the room, there is a line of blue light that covers the entire sort of, almost like a door at the back end. And as it does, a hunched corpse wearing a pointed hat and dressed in a robe embroidered with mystic symbols crosses through the hidden door. Thin wisps of a beard float from its bony jaw, and it rises a finger, tracing arcane symbols in the air. In a hoarse voice it speaks, "Secrets found and lost and found again, your paltry minds cannot fathom." As the skeletal alchemist joins the battle.
He's probably right, you know.
Yep.
Come again. Can you give me a second read on that?
Yes, sorry, I've got a very dry throat. And we'll rewind as he says, "Secrets found and lost, then found again, your paltry minds cannot fathom."
Rahimi, he seems like he's talking your language.
I know.
It's poultry chicken.
And speaking of chicken,
Excuse
now that
you.
it's your turn.
I'm very brave.
Very
yeah,
brave. Much
I'm very
brave.
brave. I like to rage. I'll rage and shoulder past my love. I'm so bad with names today. I'm sorry, Farah.
Oh, I didn't wind up on the initiative order. I just realised
Oh,
because
Prosper.
I'm using D&D Beyond to roll.
That's fair. So you'd be able to push past her and get to there, but you couldn't quite move past the line of skeletons in front of you.
All right,
so
no
you'll be able
worries.
to get to there.
I'm happy to let Prosper go first because she's before me.
Oh, really? Is it not like arranged?
Sorry, they're
oh,
before
wait a
me.
minute. Where are you even on?
It doesn't port it because I'm using
I see.
I'm using
what did you
D&D
get
Beyond.
again? Just to let me know.
A
where you should
9.
be. A 9. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, let's pop you on there. So, oh, look at that. It's Prosper's turn.
Yeah. So Prosper's gonna just like peering around the door.
Okay.
Not about to go in, but is going to cast Bane again on the nearest 3 skellies.
Okay, no problem. So that would be this one, this one,
There we go.
and
There we go.
this one over here.
Yeah.
Cool, no problem. So there you go. So each of those have Bane.
And just kind of like they're barely whispering, just kind of like, "What, you egg?" Oh, just kind of like hides back.
The
back behind
skeletons
the
seem
door.
to be harmed by your assumptions of them being eggs. And yeah, they seem baned by you as you see these wisps of energy sort of float around them and begin to beguile them.
And as they kind of duck back, they're going to use a bonus action to just like pat Nala on the shoulder and go, "Once more into the breach," and then hide behind the door. And you now
Whatever
have
you say,
bardic
Prosper.
inspiration.
So you get given a bardic inspiration. So we'll give you a little token on there of blue for you.
It's a D6, yeah?
It's a D6, yeah.
Fantastic.
It is. And so moving forward from there, we go to Nala. Nala,
Chicken
your turn for
Boy.
real this
Chicken
time.
Boy would like to move in.
Okay, no problem.
I will use my bonus action to rage. I will
Alright.
sheath the longsword and bring out the quarterstaff. And begin to spin that before going for let's bludgeon the one that's already hurt.
Brilliant stuff.
And I will make my attacks reckless again.
Alrighty.
So quarterstaff. 20.
That's a nice hit.
2 rage damage, and so 10 bludgeoning total.
Very nice. So that one immediately, as you sort of bring your blade in, just crashes into pieces as it just shatters everywhere, bones flying out in every direction. Its blade sort of spins end over end and hits just next to Talgrath's head, taking off one single Orban lock.
Yeah. She'd say sorry, but right now her mouth seems to be bleeding slightly. And she's focused on glaring at the next one.
DM, I have a
Yes.
quick question.
Certainly.
My telepathy thing, can I basically use that as if I were talking, so like a free action?
I'd say you could use that as a free action as if you're talking, because it's something that you can just activate innately, so...
Yeah. Because definitely, before Talgrath's turn starts, Rahimi's going to be like, if you don't get out of there, I'm going to thunder rock you, so you need to move.
Do what
Very
now?
well. A what?
No brain, who dis?
No offense, I'm kind of stuck.
You can move through friendly spaces.
One of them is dead, so you can move into there.
Yeah, sorry, this one has exploded. Let me just remove them from the battle zone, from the bone zone. Boom. There we go. They
Very
are gone,
tempted
so
to
you
make
now
that
have a
joke
way out.
earlier. Okay.
Go and fetch your boyfriend. Where's Ned?
Ned is all the way back here. That's sort of he's got the ham.
Okay.
That's good. He's
Good.
keeping it safe. That's good.
Thank you, Handboy.
The ham's safe. It's
Ham
good.
shield.
Ham and shield.
Okay.
Yeah. I am the ham shield. Ned Shakeshaft.
Talgrath is going to give the one north of him the left and the right.
Okay, you give him good old left and right.
And the 1-2.
Good old 1-2.
23,
That's a hit.
dealing 6 bludgeoning damage.
Oof, nice. And the second hit?
17.
That's another hit. Give me the damage. Okay, so you're going to
4
take this one out. So
damage.
how do you take this skeleton out as your fists sort of seem to strike incredibly hard against it?
Gonna left straight into the ribs,
They all crack.
cracking all of his ribs, and then just a straight to the face, knocking the skull backwards.
Brilliant stuff. So yeah, you managed to do the punch to the ribs. It cracks, shatters, dust falls out from them. They look at their chest as your fist strikes them straight in the skeleton face, and their skull flies off into the distance.
And then a little tiptoe back, and my bonus action. No, I can't use my bonus action. I use it to attack.
You did it.
It's fine.
So,
There we go.
brilliant stuff, Talgrath. At which point it is Farah. Farah, what are you doing for your turn?
I continue to try and rattle the bones of the bastard in front of me.
Go ahead.
Skittle.
Wow, yeah, that's a solid hit. skillet of Bugbane.
Oh, I rolled in that one. Dumbass.
Oh, that's unfortunate, but...
Have 3 lightning as well.
Okay, nice. So with that, you manage to swing with your skillet, and you strike them. And as you do, the skillet seems to be super effective against the skeleton person as bones crack and crumple. The skull half shatters and falls off onto the ground. The lightning runs out of it and over the body of it as you almost take it down immediately. It only seems to be holding on by the barest amounts of its sort of sinews that are left.
Then for my bonus action, I turn to the nearest one and I call up the Furies of the Seven Seas and I like just roar at it. Skillet raised, shield in the other hand. I would do it, my throat already hurts. Can I make an intimidation check to try and make these bastards move back?
Yeah, I certainly can. See if you can rattle the bones.
Aye, with my 0 charisma. 14. It's not bad.
Wow, very nice. So on your 14, you managed to, at least this one here that you've managed to almost kill, begins to sort of look at you. The little bug in its eye sort of like peers around at you, and then it begins to move backwards. And as it does, would you like to make an opportunity attack?
Oh, I would.
As I will allow you an opportunity attack for this.
Thanks.
Yes,
I wasn't going to
please.
take one unless you said I could.
Yeah, I'm usually not, but with this one, yeah, sure.
Alright.
That's still going to be a hit, as I'll give you advantage on that, as it's got literally only like barest amounts of body left. And how do you wish to finish it off as you rattle its bones and make it move away, and it begins to move backwards from you, terrified?
So I imagine I see Nala like a whirling dervish with her staff next to me, turn to hit the boy, and I say, I got it! And then the sword goes out and I clunk him on the head, and the head just like busts in perfect 2, and lightning crackles down his ribcage, arcing between each of the
That's awesome.
the ribs.
Nala gives you like a bloody smile.
I won't hold it against you.
And yeah, the thing just falls to the ground, clatter of bones on the ground, leaving dust and kicking it up in its place. And is that everything, Farah?
Be careful not to touch Nala. Static. Okay, that's it.
Her hair is like 3 meters big. What do you
just like-
say?
80s rock band, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking
Yeah,
like
right out of
Merida
the
hair.
Hannibal
It's just
band.
like.
Yeah, my hair is just like.
Okay, and Rahimi, your turn.
We're just going to do a little hop, skip, and a jump because fuck this guy, but I'm going to do a thunder wave
Very nice.
to this area right in front of me.
Certainly. So that's going to hit pretty much all 3 of those, yeah?
Yep. So they need to make. Say, why did that not give all of the info?
Bum,
That's
bum, bum,
annoying.
bum. It's alright, I understand. So it's all good. So the 2 skeletons both incredibly fail. One of them does crit, so I will... You know what, that unfortunate one is probably the closest one to you, and as the thunder comes out, it strikes it hard, and it immediately just explodes into pieces. And as the thunder sort of spreads out further, the other 2 over here. So the skeleton will try and make it save, and did just meet. So that one seems to mostly explode. There's like the skull, the spine, and like one arm remaining that's holding a sword. The rest of it is all gone. It's just a really weird looking snake person-y kind of thing now. But the alchemist at the back, on the other hand, let me have a look and see what they do. So that is a constitution save. They manage
And
to
it makes
pass.
you wonder why she even brings the thunder. Like,
Okay, so the alchemist at the back passes. You see them sort of bring out this rune that they were carving and press their hand into it, and sort of some of the energy dissipates around them.
You won't be so fucking lucky next time. And she'll just cackle again.
What?
Your cackle is amateurish, as is your magic.
Get fucked.
And you cackle.
Yeah.
As it remains around you, the hex continuing around you. And at which point we will move to the skeletal alchemist, who upon your very rude words against him will take a free action to feel hurt. Before you see them go into their robes and go, "It is not me who will be the one who is the getting fucked," and takes out 2 acid vials and flings both towards you.
I ship.
What's your AC? That's a 15 and a 13.
So my AC is a 12.
So, as you say that, these 2 acid vials go end over end at you, both striking, shattering, and covering you in acid. And you take 7 damage from the first vial and 8 damage from the second. But do you want to roll anything?
Yeah, it's this thing.
Thank you very much for the host, Capricorn. Thank you so much.
Roll any die. An odd number of the attack misses, so I'll roll D8. Ah, no, it does hit. But the second one also hits. Fuck me.
He's trying.
So as a skeleton alchemist lets out his sort of vicious mockery towards you and throws 2 vials at you, they both hit you, avoiding your shadow completely and shatter on you, dealing 7 and then 8 damage. And thank you for the follow, Capricorn.
Oh my god, it's like that Aslan thing where he turns to the witch and says, "Don't tell me about magic, I was there."
Yeah.
It's like, it's
Don't
that thing.
cite the deep magic to me, witch. I was there when
it was written.
Yeah.
Just
But
watched that
yes.
with my niece.
That's fair. So unfortunately 15 damage towards you, Rahimi, as these things both clatter and shatter all over you. And you're covered in bubbling acid, and it kind of goes...
Sorry, that was how much damage?
15.
Oh, I'm at 5 HP. That's fun.
Whoop.
Sweet.
Foolish living things. It says, as it strokes its ethereal beard. And Prosper, it is your turn.
Seeing this bitch throw stuff at my friend, I am going to just like pop around the corner and shout in Infernal, so it sounds much more spooky. Thou hast no more brain than I have in my elbows. And I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery. So it's a Wisdom save. Yay! They get 1 damage and disadvantage on their next attack roll. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, I'm muted. They turn around and look at you as you say that, and the alchemist kind of just goes, "Well, I'm quite hurt by that, actually."
And I just wave my elbows at him, and they're pointy.
I see. You're mocking me for my lack of flesh.
Weird.
Which is hilarious coming from the emaciated one.
It's like I have a weenus and you don't. Fuck it.
Exactly, at which point it will be Nala again.
Yeah, I'm happy just to move past these
Sure.
and basically go to there.
Yep,
So
luckily
take
your
the,
allies
I don't
are
mind.
keeping them
I don't care
busy,
about
so
taking
there's
opportunity
that.
attacks. So
Oh, I realised I was muted the entire time again. God damn it. So you walk over.
I could hear you.
The alchemist. Yeah, it's because I'm on Zoom. That's why I forget. But as you walk over, the alchemist sort of rubs its beard, looks a bit offended, and you manage to make it over towards him.
okay, I'm probably just gonna try and like jam my quarterstaff in his eye hole and just rip that down his body. Stupid beard. Reckless. So
Okay.
15.
So on a 15, you swing it around once again and go for the strike against the alchemist this time? Yes, okay, cool. And on a 15 you hit. Give me the damage, please.
Yep, so 2 for each, and so 7 in total.
Very nice. So as you hit him with the staff part of that attack, it does seem to be quite effective as you crack some of its bones and shatter some of them, and you see him go, "Ah, curses, my rib bones," as they fall out underneath his robes.
Yeah, I kick one away, just for good measure.
It kind of scatters across the room. Vile woman, kicking man ribs across the room. I'll need to
Compliment
collect
where I
those
come
when
from.
kill
Now bring it. You whispering fuck.
That's because I have no lungs, it says as it looks at you again.
Should have
And
stayed living then.
not an option, it says as the skeleton to your side will then swing its one arm around, almost like spinning like a Beyblade, and goes for the attack as the slice will go towards you. So, so that rolled in 18 and 17, so the 18 would hit you as it does 5 piercing damage as it spins around and hits you with its blade just across the shoulder.
Reduced to half because of rage.
And at which point the other skeleton over here will go for you, Rahimi, as the still living skeleton swings at you with its sword and goes for a horizontal cut towards you. And will be striking you with a crit fail. So completely misses. The sword sails over your head, collides with the wall, and gets stuck. And he tries to pull it out, but he can't seem to because he doesn't have any muscles anymore, which kind of gets in the way of strength things. So at which point it will be Talgrath.
Okay, Talgrath's gonna mop up. Gonna give this one a good old lefty and righty.
Okay, you go with the all reliable. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go for the punch, and it's still pulling at the sword, but this one seemed to be perhaps a boxer in life as it looks at you and ducks out of the way of the blow and then continues to pull. Can you give me another attack? The second one, however, hits hard. Go ahead.
A 5.
Very nice. So you strike, hit it, and you shatter one of its arms off and part of its ribs, and even part of its hip falls off as you do it, but it doesn't quite go down. At which point it is Farah. Farah.
Aye, 'tis I, dread pirate Farah. And I am going to move up and have at this dude with my skillet.
You have at them with your skillet.
Oh.
And unfortunately, you go for the swing and you barely miss. Likely because the bones shatter and the dust kind of flares up.
Is it flanking? Is it flanking?
It's flanking, which is a
flanking.
+2 with the wear on it. Not advantage.
Oh.
So unfortunately, that's a 10, which... let me just check out something, actually, because I think they may actually be... Yeah, unfortunately, they're still wearing armor. Yeah, unfortunately, it sort of skitters off the side and doesn't quite hit them.
Alright, so free action, I want to drop the shield.
Yeah.
And bonus offhand, throw my dagger at the one fighting Nala.
Yeah. Fuck it, that
Maybe
sounds cool. Let's do it.
Is that fair? Alright. Offhand! No.
So you drop the shield, get your dagger, and realize you kind of slipped a bit on the fingers, and you don't throw it, but you kind of go for the throw and realize nothing is in your hand.
Damn shields! This is why I don't fuck around with all this armor business.
Okay, so is that everything, Farah, unfortunately? Okay.
Aye, Captain.
Alright then, Rahimi.
Alright, so we're just gonna fucking pull out the acid splash and throw it at these fuckers up here.
Alright, no problem, go ahead.
So, give me a moment.
Right, we'll do.
Really? Ah. What happened to all my witchy 6s?
I don't know, you've lost you've been thrown off your witchy stride by those acid vials, obviously. And you babble and throw, and at which point they will try and dodge out of the way. The Alchemist, however, does not and takes the mighty 1 damage, as the acid sort of hits the hem of its robe and burns one of its bones away. Ha ha! Less accurate than me.
I'd like to draw it out.
Interesting trait, it says, and thank you for the follow, Celine. Okay.
Bonus
so,
action to cackle again. And
you suddenly do.
That'll be my turn.
Okie dokes. So at which point we move on to Scallywag Alchemist as he looks at you. Farah draws 2 acids and goes, "Do you want to see a trick?"
Sure, weird time, but alright.
Brilliant stuff, it says as it goes. "Watch as I make your witch friend disappear," he says.
Disadvantage.
Yep, he will be throwing them with disadvantage as he throws the first attack towards you. Kind of the vial tumbling over the head and going towards you, Rahimi.
I would like to proc Sentinel, please.
Yep, certainly can.
and get him as he's chucking over. I'd like to
Okay.
basically try and crack him under the ribs.
All right,
Also,
so-
because it's an odd number, it misses me.
Yep, no worries. And luckily for you, regardless of that, as they throw both of their acids, they both collide with the wall and the other wall, as he doesn't seem to aim as good this turn, thanks to being slightly put off by the insults earlier. His beard sort of grows to half its size that day. At which point he kind of goes, "This doesn't usually happen." Prosper, your turn.
That'd be fun.
Okay. Kind of peering around the door, watching all of this, and seeing Farah attempt to throw a dagger and not really manage. Prosper is going to assume that's the kind of thing that should be happening, and is going to throw a dagger at the alchemist.
Okay, go ahead.
Goes 18.
End over end, it flies through the room and strikes directly at its skull. And with your 3 damage, it stays in the skull, lodged there at the moment, and it kind of looks around and goes, I think I felt something to my head. But it kind of
Now
lifts-
Prosper's kind of looking at their hand like, oh, now I don't have a dagger. Right.
Darn, throwing daggers means I have one less in my hand.
They've never done it before. They were kind of like,
That's true.
oh, well,
I mean,
that
it's,
was...
to say that you've never thrown a dagger before, that's pretty good. All right then. So, and is that everything, Prosper?
That's everything. They're just going to stay behind the door.
All right, no problem. Nala, you've got a skeleton to your left, and you've got a skeleton alchemist to your north. What do you do?
Swiggity swooty coming for the alchemist booty.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm getting your 6s, witch.
You swing, and it like bends backwards horizontally, and then just comes back in and goes,
I spit blood in its like beard.
Were you sure you were going after the right alchemist? Because, like, you got one behind you, too.
You
Yeah.
still have
My rage is confusing me.
inspiration.
So as you spit blood on the skeleton
I
alchemist,
don't think a 12 is gonna hit it.
No, fair.
I begin to restore myself already, you see. It says as you've got your blood kind of leaking down its face. Okay. And if that's everything,
Yeah.
then it will be Skeletoni. So Skeletoni over here goes for a strike against you. As he's like, hey, I'm dying over here. And goes for a good old hit. Missing you entirely.
Hey.
At which point, the one down here, the one in the middle of all of you, will kind of look around and then go for a feeble swipe towards Farah. But it's feebly effective, as he gets a 20 and deals 6 damage to you, Farah.
Yeah, well, minus 1d4 is bane.
That's a good point. What is your AC? Oh, your AC should actually be alright in this case, so you might be lucky here.
I'm at 18.
Right,
Oh no,
if-
no, I'm at 16 because I dropped my shield.
Oof, in which case, it does unfortunately hit you, as it's only 1 in the bane. So it rolled a 19, so it does hit, dealing 6 damage, but it seems to avoid a lot more of you than it usually would with the new armor. It doesn't say anything in return, as this skeleton doesn't speak, unfortunately. But, Talgrath, your turn.
Okay, Talgrath's getting sick of this bloody skeleton in front of him. Gonna give him the old mighty straight towards the ribs.
Okay. You go for the mighty straight. And it goes through his ribs, but you've already knocked them out. And it just goes out the other end, and you withdraw your fist. You're not used to fighting skeletons. And then you think, you know what, I'll go for the other side. And you swing for the other side of its ribs, already shattered by Farah. Okay. At which point, it will be Farah. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna swing my skillet at the skeleton next to me.
Alright, give it a go as you pull back the skillet and... Oh! What's the damage of that? Right, you kill this thing. How do you kill it?
In fire and blood.
Okay.
So what I imagine happens is Talgrath's fist comes through, it comes all the way through. Farah fist bumps it with her free hand and brings the sword around and just slashes twice and like lightning just arcing through and just gonna dust
Nice. Okay, so yeah, you do that, and Talgrath, you didn't connect with it, but you do feel a fist bump as then the skeleton just explodes in front of you, basically, as the vicious blade runs through it multiple times, and the bones just tumble down.
And Farah is like, I don't like your tricks! And she's gonna use her movement to
Yep.
run up to this dude
Brilliant.
and then whoop! to the alchemist.
Okay.
And then offhand punch.
Offhand punch. Go ahead. Hit.
I'll roll the dagger.
Yep, roll dagger.
Because I don't have an offhand punch.
19, that's a hit, so you hit. And what is your strength mod?
2.
2, so that does 4 damage to it as it's vulnerable to bludgeoning as you punch it. And one of its arms shatters partly and it's kind of limply hanging. And he's like, that's not good.
No one disdains my crew but me.
That's fair. A good captain, it seems.
And my hat's better than yours.
But mine is more pointed and therefore more distinguished.
Mine has 3 points.
Rahimi.
I mean, we're gonna do the same thing we did before because I am out of actual spells. So these two need to make a dexterity saving throws.
Okay. Well, the skeleton fails, which is that skeleton will be dying now.
Wonderful.
And as for the alchemist,
Yeah.
let us have a look. Let us do the dexterity. And that is a fail also, so he will take the damage. So the the skeletal alchemist is mostly reduced to nothing but sludge and bone, but its hat still stays on its head, and its spine is still visible, and its arms are still on it. And but all of its ribs are shattered, its robes are kind of bubbled and burned off, and the only thing left is sort of its spine, its hips, and its legs. As it just looks over to you, 2 vials in its hands still, and it goes, it looks like this is all I have left.
And she'll cackle once more, and it's like more menacing this time because she's like, she sees that he's on his last leg.
That was a better cackle, it says as we go around to the skeletal alchemist, who with 2 vials in its hands will go, alas, it seems my time on this world has passed. Psych, it says as it then throws 2 it throws 2 more towards this time Farah.
That sweet up, please.
Uh-huh.
Please hit things.
And you hit.
Yes.
So give me the damage, please.
Woohoo.
And it is dead as it goes to fling them, and as it leaves its fingers, you strike through the spine, and it sort of folds in on itself. The 2 acid vials hitting the back of the wall here and beginning to eat away through what looks to be a secret hidden door that reveals a chamber behind it as its skull rolls along the ground and its beard slowly withdraws into its face until it is lifeless and beardless. Its ethereal beard of wisps fading into full death.
Yeah, and with that, she'll like wipe her mouth and like slake the extra blood on the ground before picking up the hat and handing it to Rahimi.
Again, a fancy
You had a weird
visitor.
laugh, and it kind of freaked me out. And here's a gift. I don't like it. And then she'll go over to the door.
I believe she might appreciate the gift of healing more than a hat right now.
Do I look like a healer to you, Talgrath?
Says
Just
the
saying.
bleeding-mouthed Nala.
No,
You
I look like an angry person.
Prestidigitates just Nala's face.
I'll be fine until we get back to the ship or the tavern, whichever.
That can't taste nice.
It doesn't. Thank you.
So yeah, sparkly clean.
Yeah, and at that point, as you finally destroyed these skeletons and this alchemist that was rumored to be here, and you found this secret entrance to what seems to be the alchemist's chamber, its lab, so to speak, where it may hold all of its treasure, is where we'll call it for today.
No, treasure!
Saw that coming.
So next time we
tried
start,
so
we'll go
hard.
through, you'll get your treasure that's in that room, and we can cover that, and then, of course, you gotta find out what's going on here other than this, as there seems to be more to this place. So, thank you everybody for watching. We're gonna go around. Everybody, if you let us know where people can find you, and, of course, anything you're working on, your favourite moment, and then we will move around, and we'll say goodnight. So, we'll go around the same way as usual with our Capitan, Farah.
That was lots of fun. I feel like we made a lot of progress today. We acquired a new hatch for the boat with some good hinges. I wouldn't recommend corpse maggots as a food item, but highly recommend the centipede, spider, and snake that we had earlier.
We have ham now too.
I'm and Ned. We get desperate. I'm at FrostFrmFire on Twitter. And you can find me there. I play in a ton of games. I also run the Encounter Roleplay Twitch channel. That is my job. I will next be there, hopefully tomorrow, for Tentacle Tuesdays, when there will be tentacles, as we play Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. That's in the 2 p.m. Eastern time slot, which is 7 p.m. if you're in the UK. And then on Wednesdays, we have Broken Crown, which is Zweihander, in the 4 p.m. slot, which is 9 p.m. UK. And on Thursdays, if I may plug one more tiny thing, we have After the Fire on RPG Webby's channel in the 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UK slot. It's a Game of Thrones. We're in our second season campaign after the Song of Ice and Fire, I should say. And we're in the midst of a big battle, and it's a lot of fun, and it's juicy, and I love it a lot.
Brilliant stuff. And yeah, thank you very much for coming as usual. Farah's a joy. And speaking of joy, let's move on to Rahimi. Thank you for playing.
Thank you for having me and the rest of this crew. Holy crap, you guys. I'm Banjalerp. You can find me pretty much everywhere under that name. I play Rahimi, the half-orc witch, which is a class from the Mage Hand Press. If you have not checked it out, please do. It is fantastic. One of the best witch classes that I have ever come across, basically. Other than that, you'll find my art streams on my own channel here on Twitch, and on Saturdays, I've moved my Final Fantasy streams to Saturdays. I just couldn't do it this past weekend because I had prior commitments. But check me out on Twitch every Saturday for Final Fantasy, and during the week, I will do random art streams. Typically, I'm working on like commissions or whatnot. So, but yeah, that's about it for me.
Yeah, and speaking of art, oh, go on.
Favorite moment.
Yes.
I have a key.
I have a key.
I have a key. Boom.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I don't know what moment you're on about. I don't. That never happens.
Oh, bless.
But yeah, and also just so everybody knows as well who's watching, all the art on the stream, so the little circles next to everybody's face with their characters is all done by Banjalerp as well. So there'll be some bigger high-res reveals of those on the Twitter coming up in hype for next week. So we'll see how that goes. But thank you so much for playing as usual. Rahimi is an absolute joy, and the cackle was on point. Okay, and Talgrath, the opener of doors. Slayer of walls, booter of
stubber of toes.
Stubber of toes.
And unable to hit skeletons very well, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
But when you did hit, you hit like a truck. So
that is true. Yeah, I'm F91 Vanguard. I obviously play Talgrath. You can find me on Twitter at F91 Vanguard, and on Thursdays at 8 o'clock UK time, PM. I'm streaming my way through Dark Souls, which has gone really well so far. Yeah, you can find me on Twitch at F91 Vanguard again. As for my favourite moment, it's got to be how everyone would usually react to Farah booting into a room, which is the bald, bearded guy making a run for it as soon as Farah said anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's an accurate representation of how most people would act when they hear Farah in the distance. Okay, the dread pirate themselves. And speaking of dread pirates, Prosper.
Yeah, so dread. Hi, I am full of dread. Yeah, there's so much dread. I am Shakes, also known as Shaksqueer. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shaksqueer. I am actually in a game in half an hour on Welcome to the Party. We're playing a Ravnica game, and I'm playing basically a version of the Iron Giant, who is also quite nervous about things. He just wants to fit in. You can also find me on Tuesdays over on Penflower Inc.'s channel, where I'm playing a centaur, which is also great. That's a Waterdeep game. And you can find me on Encounter Roleplay on Thursdays, where I'm playing in an Unhallowed Metropolis game, and I'm a very stern, pristine mourner, which is just great because I get to wear a wig and a top hat, so it's fun. My favorite moment was by far Farah having that, everyone's had that in a relationship, but they go, hey, look at the weird thing, and your partner's just going, stop showing that to me, stop it. Like,
I'm trying to love you, but you're making it difficult.
Yeah, just like, look at the worms.
Just wriggling
that was
about.
Amazing.
Yeah, that
just
was
in the middle of a battle, like, darling, look, I have worms. And Nala just being like, no.
Okay. And speaking of Nala, thank you for playing.
Hello, I am Humbledore. Favorite moment? Probably the freak out that Farah had. And then me just going, like, Farah, help me. She was like, oh, Nala, help me. And I was like, no, I can't. What am I going to do? Like, drive my longsword into your arm? No. Just go and see the doctor.
It's for the best.
It was just really sweet. Or, obviously, I've got a key. I've got a key. It has to be like a shirt now.
Yeah, that's gonna
Swear
be
to God.
that's gonna be like a GIF somewhere.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a shirt that says I've got a key, but it's
With
just
Just a boot.
It's just a broken foot.
yeah.
It's just various moments of Talgrath booting a door and breaking his foot.
At least a stub toe.
Okay, but
But yeah, you can find me. So I'm playing on Encounter Roleplay as an ace detective that complements the loveliness of Shax very nicely. I don't know time conversions. It's 9 o'clock British time.
4 p.m. EDT.
4 p.m. Eastern.
EDT. So come and check that out.
Yeah, brilliant, and always good to have you and all of my cast. It's lovely to see you back here again. We'll be back here next week, same time, same place. So we'll be starting.
We're also back here on Saturday
We
for
are.
the finale of our Unhallowed Metropolis game,
Uh-huh.
Britannia by Gaslight,
We
where
certainly
I
are.
play Faye Dunwire, and we are going to York.
Yeah, we are finally getting
In
to
the
York.
north.
After all this
Yeah.
time, after
The
all this journey, you're
north.
going to make it to north.
Come
and
up
to York.
north.
So, speaking of that, so that is on this Saturday. But before then, there is a game on this Thursday, which is on Encounter Roleplay. It starts at 4 p.m. EDT. It is the one that these two lovely individuals are in. And a lot of detective work, a lot of creepiness, and a chicken boy, so that's always good. And you'll get context if you watch the show, so that's always good. And
All
aside
hail
from-
Lord Bok.
All hail Lord Bok.
His
May
greatest
feathers-
cluckiness.
May his feathers find luster unlike any other chicken. And on Saturday, I am here again, as Charlie has said very excitedly, to run the possible finale. It's a bit longer session than usual of Unhallowed Metropolis. I'm very interested to see where it goes with Britannia by Gaslight, so definitely tune in for that. We'll be starting a bit early. Keep an eye on the Twitter. It'll tell you the exact time we're going to be starting, but I'm heavily looking forward to it and sad to see it end. But until then, I've been Hollowtail. You've all been brilliant, and you will find us back here next week. So thank you everybody for playing, and thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.